K Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chahadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akhwa that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach. It's coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Want to touch on this article with Trump. It says Trump weighs order requiring banks to collect citizenship data, which you already know. This, it's all leading into some digital shit anyway. Let me just grab a quick scripture and we'll jump into some of the article. And they have 125 sources on that article, so if you want to, dip into it, some of you brothers want to do lessons on it, you can jump right into it. And, sure you should find stories on it. Because they do little stuff like this and it's not, like a nationwide thing. They don't cover it in the news really like that. That's the reason why the Lord set up the watchmen, the prophets, to let our people know, hey, look, man, we're living in the last days. And who you think he's trying to affect, who you think this is going to affect the most when it straight comes down to it? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But now it's going to affect a lot of these other people that's here too. But see, Trump does a lot of shit, he does a lot of shit without thinking. He doesn't completely think things through. He doesn't have, the scriptures talks about having wise counsel with you. The people that's around him not telling him, hey, look, this is gonna do this or that. He just want to this motherfucker jumps up, want to make a move, and he makes a move. He's not thinking about nobody else. He's like the guy with a family of 4, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, shit, fuck it. I just feel like driving the country. Family don't know where the fuck he at. They don't know what he doing. All they can see is that he's spending money wildly as hell everywhere that he's been. They seeing him pop up from state to state. You know what I'm saying? The wife trying to get in touch with him. The kids don't have no food and shit. He's just he's just making reckless ass moves, for his happiness, and nobody else is benefiting from it. But anyway, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of the fact that when he does this, he's clamping down on anything that's got to do with Jake and their money. Because you close in, it's really like a siege. We was talking about that. He's sieging you. He's digitally, or say like a future. This is like a new school way of sieging a people in and starving them out, basically. So you got all this shit going on over there in Mexico right now. He done all what he's done with Venezuela, Cuba, and these are, the Northern Kingdom nations, man, or the Northern Kingdom tribes that this stuff is affecting. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Now you have to remember too, a while back, he signed an executive order, and I'm trying to think what it was about. I remember it being about not getting paper checks or something like that in the mail, but I'm not sure to what extent. Let me just put this in real quick to get some little information. It's been a minute now. We can remember doing lessons on it. So things been moving, man. It's been moving fast as hell. This could have been maybe about 6 or 7 months ago, probably longer. Remember, he got rid of the pennies and shit. Let me see. I know it was for something. That was in March of 2025. It's been almost a year. President Trump signed Executive Order 14247, modernizing payments and from America bank accounts, directing the U.S. Treasury to eliminate most paper checks for federal payments and tax refunds by September 30th, 2025. The order aims to reduce fraud, costs, and delays, forcing a transition to direct deposit or prepaid cards. What do you think that is? That's going into dun, 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 your mark of the beauty and the beast, man. Because you should have the choice. Now, I've done it before. It's been years back, when they first started doing the electronic stuff, because they've been electronically doing this for a long time now. I'm at least going on, 2, 3 decades or whatever, where you can get your money kind of directly a little bit more quicker. But you know, some people don't like to do that because when you're doing that, you're giving them, an extra $100, $200, depends on their charge because they charge for you to get that money faster. You know what I'm saying? Some people was just like, you know what? I'm gonna, send my shit through to the state or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna get all my money back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you taking any more. I can wait because it's the convenience of the quickness, and that's how Esau is gonna get down too. It's the convenience of getting your money so fast. So like, okay, I can get my money, today or in a few days, as opposed to I gotta wait maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever amount of time to actually get the money in the mail, and then you would get that check. You know what I'm saying? You go to your bank and then you would, cash your check and get all your money and you saving a couple of $100, which makes sense because some people are not in a rush to get their money like that. Some people, but see, they've made it to the point where people are so stressed financially that people want their shit right now. That's why you got all these money loan places. These they give you a loan on your check. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know here in Michigan, they had gotten so crazy with that shit that the state was talking about kicking these companies out of the state of Michigan because it was like predatory loaning, man. It's like you get caught up in that shit, you never getting out of that. Here you go, this man, he's telling you, okay, well, come and get your $500 a day. Say you make $500 a week, come and get it today, and we're gonna, we'll give it to you at, man. I think they was hitting people over here for like 30%. That's a lot, man, on $500. You know what I'm saying? Because that's $30 on every hundred. You got to look at that's 30 times five. Every hundred that's 30%. That's a lot of fucking money, bro. They was hitting Jacob, and then once you get caught up into it, you can't pay it back. Now you're constantly paying and paying and paying, trying to pay down a damn interest or whatever the case may be. But anyway, let's get this. Because this is what all this is leading up to, Revelation 13:16, and we've been saying it, man. We're gonna continually stay on the heads of Esau when it comes to these prophecies, man. Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all both small and great. Matter of fact, let me try it in the Amplified, the AMP. It says, also he compels all, the small and the great, and the rich and the poor, and the free men and the slaves, to be given a mark on their right hand. No, it ain't gonna be on, it's gonna be in. Cause see right here in the KJV it says in their right hand. That's why you got to be careful with some of these these translations. You know. So let me just read it in the KJV because this is the right version. And he caused it for all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Matter of fact, let's get this word in because I never looked that up. Because that mark is going into a charagma. They may not even have the word in. And they don't. Nope, they don't. Let me see though. Oh yes they do. Slaki is epe in the Greek 1909. So let's see what that word is. Because I never looked that up. It says upon, on, at, by, before, a position, on, uh mm, meaning superimposition of time, place, order, etc., as a relation of distribution with genitive case, over, upon, etc. And you have to realize too that back in the days when these words were written, there was no one putting anything inside of anybody. But we know that now you're living in a day and time where people get shit in them. People been getting pacemakers since like the 70s. People have been getting all kinds of transplants and shit, heart, lungs. So you have to realize that at the time that when our forefather wrote these things down, somebody, things like that wouldn't even imagine. It wouldn't even imagine that you could actually get something within you. But here today, you can get something within you. People wasn't piercing their damn tongues and their damn vaginas and penises and piercing and doing all this weird ass shit. You see these motherfuckers with all piercings all over their damn head, shit going through their damn noses, and just a bunch of bullshit. But see, back in those days, so like your things weren't like wasn't being done like that. I'm talking about from a medical standpoint. From a medical standpoint, you just went to see the person that knew about the herbs and the medicines and things from the earth, and you went and you done what they told you to do. You know what I'm saying, type of deal. But here you go, you got Esau, the so-called white man. This man, you got Elon Musk now talking about putting some shit into your head. You know, Neuralink, the damn chip. Well, okay, now if you get paralyzed, if you can't walk, you can't, do whatever. Now they can put that within you, and now you have this miracle of now all of a sudden you can hear, see, or walk, or whatever the fucking case it is. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize that when it comes to this word in, you know, you're living in a day and time where this is talking about. That's why he said that basically. Because this is gonna be something that's gonna be embedded within the person, man. Verse 17 it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name." So this is a press right here. Again, this is like a siege. You want to eat, you want to drink, you want to be able to pay your bills, you want to be able to do what we tell you to do, you want to be able to live in society the way that you gotta do it the way that we want you to do it. It's that simple. See? So I remembered this. So this can go with it too. So everything that they've been doing has kind of been like gradualism, but at the same time too, they're starting to speed shit up. So again, there's 125 sources to this particular story. The Trump administration is considering an executive order that would mandate banks collect citizens' information from customers, according to the Wall Street Journal. Well, I've never known you to be able to go to a bank and get a bank account without you got to have some things to go and get a bank account. Like, what is he talking about? Then you have to realize too that now with the airports as of late, with the real ID, they want DNA. They no longer, fingerprints. That's not good enough anymore. Motherfuckers want biometrics, eye scans, DNA. I'm not sure if they want fluids from you, blood or a swab or whatever the case may be, but you have to realize that this is what this shit is going into. Right, so we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, and we're to just warn the flock and let our people know, hey, look, we're another step closer, because this right here this is what it's all leading up to. Why you think they're doing this? Because this is not just for, see, what's stupid with what you Edomites, you so-called white people, is you think that this is gonna benefit you because you're coming down on the so-called immigrants. No, this is gonna affect you. Why do you think they're building these data centers? They clipping all y'all little rights right in front of you, and got you smiling about it. Klaus Schwab said, "Be happy and own nothing." It says current federal rules require banks to verify names, addresses, and tax IDs. Okay, so why do you need to do what Trump talking about doing then? But do not mandate collecting citizenship data from account holders. Well, you got motherfuckers that's got these same people got bank accounts and Swiss bank accounts and accounts in worlds and different parts of the world where it's tax free. They have places where they send all their billions to where no one can touch it. With what I'm saying, without being from any country. So so these Edomites, they can do what they want to do, or the upper heads of them, what I'm saying, they can do what they want to do when it comes to their citizenship and data and their money and where they want to put their money at. But when it comes to you gotta, what I'm saying, get this man all kinds of info talking about, look, man, because really in reality, if you going to work for somebody and you doing a job for somebody, the scripture says that you should be paid that day. The Lord didn't say nothing about starting no bank account nowhere. Now there was places, well, like in the book of Tobit had some money that was held. I will have to go back into the story. But that was the whole purpose of Tobias. You know what I'm saying? Going to get some money that his father had set up, back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Before, certain things went down, and he was going to get that money. So it was a whole. I'm not sure if he was getting interest off of it or whatever the case may be, but he gave a lot of alms and which alms are important. Giving is very important. But you had situations where, yeah, okay, you can do certain things, but with usury, we wasn't supposed to be about that usury like that against our brethren. This man, he don't give a fuck. He takes your money, lends it out at top dollar. He making money off your money while giving you some little bullshit ass percentage. And then if things don't work out, if the bank shut down, the bank just shut down. This man is doing all kinds of shit. I've been seeing stories where they're just taking people's checks. If the check is too much or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They just like, well, we're not going to cash it and we're going to keep it. We're going to freeze it until, they just sitting on your money, man. These banks, they allow garnishment. They allow companies to garnish your shit without they don't have to say nothing to you. They next thing you know, your check's short. You just like, well, what the fuck going on? What's going on with my check? Your check's short because they collected money off of your shit. They didn't allow somebody you went to them. You went to them with trust that they will hold your money. And then they would let a third party come in and just be like, hey, he owed me this amount of money. I need to get in that. And this is what's going to come in with that market of Beauty and the Beast as well. They were saying it. The Apostle Gabar, beloved Apostle, he played that video all the time, man. With the guy he's sitting there and he's talking about how they're just gonna, if you owe anything, you owe taxes, you owe anybody, you owe a doctor, you owe an old ass bill, you owe. No, these people are gonna be able to be allowed to go into your system, your digital system, and collect right on the spot. Ain't gonna be no we going back and forth to court about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I guess on the proof tip, you had to prove that shit later on, but they don't care. They're gonna take your money in the meanwhile. Straight the fuck up, man. And that's just the way that this system is set up. It's a fucked up system, man. It says advocates warn the policy could push millions of undocumented immigrants out of the formal banking system and towards unregulated alternatives. This is what they want. This is what they want. They want to make you so uncomfortable. I'm telling you, this is like a siege. They want to make you so uncomfortable. Let me see what this story they got to add it. One of these sources. But they want to make you so uncomfortable to the point where you fold like, oh, fuck it. What else can we do? And Jake been doing that for a long time. We've been doing that for a long time. We folded and phased into everything that this man has ever wanted us to do, man. Throughout our history of being in this captivity. Because we ain't have no choice. But see, with this right here, this is where the ultimate faith of trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to come in. This is going to be the ultimate test. Like, okay, well, are you going to allow this man to put something within you? Are you going to allow this man to become your God? You going to denounce me? The true and living God that created all things, to go for this guy that I created? Are you going to do that? And if you do, your ass through. So it says, do banks have to know your citizenship status in that particular, and Bank of America is a piece of shit. Bank of America is a piece of shit. This is the worst bank to bank with, as far as I've had horrible experiences with Bank of America. And throughout the years too, it's been a lot of, basically you waking up and your damn bank account is at zero. People in line trying to figure out what the fuck going on. A lot of blackouts and shit. No, this the worst bankers to fuck with, man. Because they will allow the government to get into your fucking money. Hey, you owe some money, Bank of America will allow them motherfuckers to go straight into your account and take whatever. And then you have to prove that you didn't owe them the money. Okay, but it says a Kansas couple says Bank of America blocked access to their bank account after they ignored a form demanding proof of citizenship from the husband, who was born and raised in Kansas. Yeah, because you like, all right, proof of citizenship. You born and raised here. Like, what the fuck is you? See? The couple thought the letter was spam. The account was unfrozen after he supplied a driver's license at the branch. Okay, well, generally, that's what you would show some ID. Yep. Dan Hernandez, a television writer of Cuban heritage who owns a company called Cuban Missile, said the bank suspended his business account in December on suspicion he was doing business with Cuba. The issue was resolved after he sent a tweet to the bank social media account. A spokeswoman for the California Bankers Association told the Star that the federal law only requires the bank's verify account holder's name, date of birth, residential address, and social security number. Which you shouldn't even need no damn social, really. But hey, they done got you in. But that's a part of your system. That's a part of your chipping system. That number is gonna be a part of your chip. So it's gonna come to a point where you're just going to have to be like, man, fuck all that, bro. So it goes off into a few other things off in here. I don't want to read all the way through it, but hey, they put people through hell on a day-to-day basis, man. When it comes to yep, this right here, see that Patriot Act shit. This is when it pretty much kind of started. It says the Bank of America application for checking account. It asks about citizenship. Questions about citizenship also appear on checking account applications with Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo application says it asks its customers questions about their citizenship because bank needs the information to determine the eligibility and suitability of our products and comply with the USA Patriot Act. See, which Congress passed in 2001 to strengthen security controls. See that? These people gonna make it hard as hell for you to just grab $200-300 out of the bank, man. And they getting rid of all that, man. Yeah, you got a few comments in here. Yeah. That's a perfect hookup right here. Somebody says, does a dollar bill have multiple citizenship? Nope, because the dollar is everywhere. Here you go. You done hijacked the world with the dollar. But you talking about a damn bank account and proving citizenship when everybody all over the world is using your fucking dollar. Crazy as work, bro. Yeah, and it's a long ass comment, but the person making some good points in there. It says, I'll end out here. Let's see what this person is saying. Does a dollar bill have multiple citizenship? In El Salvador, per example, is what they use to exploit the uneducated people. All this corporation want data to know more about you and use against you to sell it and make money. They use your money to make profit for themselves. Why not just save the money on your own and stop using the corrupted system we have on place? All that information will be used again on their customers sooner or later. Well, the thing of that is they've digitalized everything. A lot of companies don't issue checks anymore anyway. They're not going to pay you in cash. They getting rid of that cash shit. Cash, you walking up into the front desk and like, oh yeah, I put in my 40 this week. Let me get my money. No, they ain't doing that. You're gonna have to have a bank account. You're gonna have to have an email. You're gonna have to have, so they've digitalized everything. That's the whole system. So he's been gradually doing it. But now that Esau has but a short time, he's coming down with great wrath. So he's gonna start to push and rush these things. He already got the shit set up, man. It's nothing for him to crash this thing overnight, man. And you wake up tomorrow and everything that you ever worked for is done. And a lot of people going off themselves. Cause you got a lot of prideful ass people in this world. They my 401k, my IRA, my this, my that, my savings, my man, the Lord gonna knock all of that shit off in within seconds. And these people gonna lose their goddamn minds, bro. Like, so that's what it's coming to, man. So what this person is saying, okay, yeah, you can, get your little deposits out and but still, once they make the dollar of nothing anyways, what you gonna be able to do? You ain't gonna be able to do shit. You're going to comply. Okay, it says all of this started when Mr. Trump was elected to office. He was against a lot of immigrants, even though he was hiring immigrant nanny to babysit his spoiled kid. It doesn't matter where people come from. If you are legal or illegal, you pay taxes one way or other, right? So it contributes to the economy soon. But this is just another way to discriminate against the people that migrated here. That's all it is about. It's really about, again, it's a siege, man, on you Israelites. The Lord is about to allow Esau to 70 AD y'all asses again, man. And we're praying to Yahweh about Shemyaw Shah for mercy, man. Because we're part of it too. You know what I'm saying? We're just praying that we're a part of the hopefully elect. We just have a little bit more knowledge and information or wisdom about the situation as opposed to the other Israelites. But you know, hey, we're praying to Yahweh about Shemyaw Shai, man, for mercy, man, because this man, he's the cruel Lord. This man don't care nothing about your kids eating. This man don't care nothing about you eating. This man don't care nothing about you being out in this cold ass weather, and you know, he has set up these camps, these fucking these concentration camps, man, to really torture, really overall, man. You know, and you doofy ass Americans, you have no idea that this man is about to come down on your stupid ass with great wrath too. Because Jacob Trouble got everything to do with you as well. You're not getting away with it. But here you go again. You got you know, if you want to go into some of these sources, it's 125 sources on this story. And yeah, everybody touching on this. So you should be able to find it. Yeah, man. Crazy work, bro. I see they just you know, they had the little congressional house speaker bullshit over, you know, all these laws that ICE done broke, you know, your constitutional law. I mean, your constitutional rights. They don't give a fuck about none of that no more. They breaking into your houses. They searches and seizures without any warrants. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They nabbing people. They done kill people in the streets, American citizens in the streets, and call them domestic terrorists, man. You know, because you're protesting. So all that walking and marching, no, they tired of all that walking and marching shit. They done with all that. They about to come down with beating your ass, man, with the Billy Club and whatever else they, you know. Matter of fact, I can't even say that was soft shit, you know, when Jake was getting beat up with the Billy Club and dogs being sicked on him. You know what I'm saying? Water hoses being sprayed on your ass. No, Esau, this man, Trump, man, he's coming down with great wrath. He's gonna put them, unload a clip on that motherfucker. That's what these so-called white people are about right now. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yasha. No, you know what? Let me get this one. Chapter 14, Revelation 14 and 9. Just in case you thinking about taking this shit, you better step away. You better believe on Yahweh by Shemi Shai, because those are the true names of the Father and Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh meaning He exists, or the existing one, and the true name of His Son is Yahweh Shai, which means that He's the Savior or deliverer in the Paleo Hebrew. Now you got to think about all the shit that they've done throughout these centuries to get to the point where we at right now, where they want to microchip your ass. They done that all in the name of sweet white baby Jesus, which is a damn idol, man. But yet got you thinking that you're gonna pray to this idol and you're gonna be saved. So you in a you know, this man really is the devil, man. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast or his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So your ass gonna get the business, man. You don't want no parts of the judgment that's coming with anybody that allows this man to put a chip in them, man. Because he's gonna become your God. That's gonna be the ultimate form of idol worship. You know. Here you go. You know you got a peasant, a motherfucker that ain't even got sense enough to cook his steak all the way through. He a damn blood drinker in control of your life, man. Talking about giving you matter of fact, it was another article I seen today on universal basic income. Who is that? Matter of fact, it was the same. Let me see, Shalakia. It was in here too, but I may not be able to find it because it was earlier. Who was that? It was what's his name? Dag the podcaster. It's not in here. That podcaster, Joe Rogan. He was talking about universal basic income. I think what was I think I'm trying to think how much he was talking about. I seen that today. I should have saved the story. Nope, I ain't even had to put it all the way in there. It says, yup, Joe Rogan has nuisance and involving perspective on universal basic income, generally viewing it as a potential necessity due to job displacement by artificial intelligence, AI, and automation, while also expressing significant concerns about its potential negative societal impacts. Yeah, he was talking about. I'm trying to think how much he was talking about giving everybody. I think he said $200,000, some crazy shit. But you know what though? A lot of people will fall for it. But guess what? If this man gives you $200,000 in basic income per year, or whatever the case may be, you know, they're still going to be in control of what you eat, what you drink, where you can travel, how you know, just your whole life. They're going to want for that. They're going to want to be in control of all, your every move, man. And this is Esau. But I'll grab one more. I want to finish out in Revelation chapter 16, verse 2. Because there's consequences that come with this thing all the way around, man. Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome. That word noisome goes off into a stinking sore. Stinking and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So those are gonna, whatever it is, that shit gonna give your ass open sores. That's gonna eventually come to a point of stink, gangrene, rottage. Your shit, your damn limbs falling off. You know, because by him wanting to put something in you like that, it's enough we dealing with these phones with this radiation in it. Imagine this shit being in your skin. And right now, we don't even know the effects of what this shit has actually done to us just using the phone on a day-to-day basis. They'll tell you nothing is going on. Then you'll have some say, well, screen time and all this, and this. We can see that, they're trying to shut down a lot of so-called, with children, which these are not children, these are grown-ups, just young adults, cutting down on their screen time and, trying to get rid of some of these, apps in certain countries, or, waiting to a certain age where you can actually get on these apps. And it's too late for that anyway, but at the same time, too, they know and see that this shit is affecting people. You got people out here bugging the fuck out, man. Already, just off the basics of the screen. So imagine them putting something within you. And with the technology where you don't know whether or not he can turn your ass on or turn your ass off. Which we know that's exactly what he's going to do. Turn your ass on, turn your ass off. Give you orders. You out here carrying out damn orders on some Manchurian Candidate shit. Now check that movie out. If you've never seen a Manchurian Candidate, that's a cold movie, man, with Denzel Washington. This motherfucker had them made a phone call, a certain type of sound, and they had you programmed to just go and kill, man. So anyway, we at the end of this thing, man. So pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh for mercy. That State of the Union probably on right about now. This guy probably fumbling over some words. But anyway, with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kum Yashal in the bubble ball.